Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, LaffinBoy here, and today I'm going to be bringing you an Assassin's Creed Odyssey video. This video is going to be showing you how I defeated the Medusa, or as the questline calls it, the Gorgon. I'm going to show you the weapons that I used, I'm going to show you the armor that I used, I'm going to show you the tactics that I used, and of course the abilities that I used. There is a little bit of a spoiler. Well, I'll just put it this way. You need to defeat the cult before you do this. You also need to get to level 50 and upgrade all of your gear to level 50. At least all the gear that I'm going to be showing you. Anyway, I also want to warn you that this video is going to be quite long. So I believe it's going to be about 15 minutes. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, here we have my axe. It's the Minotaur's Labrys. It's 2599 DPS. It does. It has the -1 adrenaline cost per overpower ability, or 4 overpower abilities, and that is really important. It also has the added poison damage, and the Sword of Damocles. It has a +10 to all adrenaline gained, and the poison damage, and of course DPS is the same. I had Paris's bow on, but I didn't actually use it, and it doesn't have any effect on the combat. Here is our spoiler. So Asphyxious Circlet, 881 armor, plus 12% damage with swords, which is helpful, and plus 10% damage to all abilities. Of course, the 12% damage with swords was added. Okay, we've got Demigod's Bracers. This is plus 30% total armor, which is also helpful. Plus 10% damage with all abilities. This is a set. Okay, we have plus 20% poison damage from Demigod's Belt, and again plus 10% damage with all abilities. Demigod's Chestplate, plus 30% total armor, again very helpful. Plus 10% damage with all abilities. And we have the Demigod's Boots, plus 10% intoxicated damage and weakening effect, and again plus 10% damage with all abilities. And there's Phobos. Anyway, that's the gear that I have, and I will move on to the abilities. Okay, starting with the abilities, I'm going to show you these two. These two are not active abilities. They're passive abilities, meaning you don't have to spend any points on them, and they're always on. Weapons Master at level 3, increase the warrior damage by 40%, and increase crit chance by 10%. Combo finishers deal more damage when combos contain both light and heavy attacks. And Gear Master, similarly, boosts your gear. This is taking great care of your gear, pays off. Increase armor by 90%, reduce range damage by 20%, and there's a 10% chance that an attacking enemy will stagger. Now, we have this one, the overpower attacks, which is one you'll see me use. It is very important, but it does not take a spot on your little wheel over here. We have the Battle Cry of Ares, which is here. And, well, what that does is, in a fit of godly rage, all attacks inflict 50% more damage for 20 seconds. During this time, all enemy attacks are non-lethal. Every hit received boosts attack damage. Requires no adrenaline. It does require time, though. Okay, the overpower attacks, I didn't go over what that does. Massively powerful attacks that vary depending on weapon type. Requires 2 full adrenaline segments damage, and efficiency increased significantly. Now, you'll see me use this. That is one of the key things that I do use. Also, over here, I do have the Sparta kick. Yeah, that is exactly what I love doing with this thing, kicking people off of high things and watching them die. Another ability that I use is Hero Strike. Single strike attack unleashes the full power of the Spear of Leonidas. Inflicts at level 2, it inflicts 80% assassin damage. At level 3 would inflict 100%. Now, I have Shield Breaker, but I don't use it in this combat. You may want to use Second Wind. At level 1, it will it refills 25% of your max health. At level 3, I'll show you what that is. Now I have, of course, as I said, I have everything upgraded. I have the Spear of Leonidas upgraded to level
At level
6.
3, it restores 50% of the max health, and it removes fire and poison
plus 10%
damage.
health gained per adrenaline spent. Maximum adrenaline segments 8. Maximum ability rank 3. Second melee ability wheel unlocked. All that. Okay. Most of that was unlocked before that, but the point is anytime when you spend this or this, it's going to refill your health. Any of these will refill your health to a point. Anyway, so that is the loadout. Let's get to the fight. Now, the majority of the fight has a definite pattern to it, but there are a few exceptions. One is at the very beginning of the fight, when you get her down to about 2/3 health, and when you get her down to about 1/3 health, she will put herself in the shield and summon soldiers. What I try to do is, I'm using the axe. I try to get the soldiers together and not get myself turned to stone. The reason for that is I use my big attack, and I'm able to chain it together. That way I can kill all of the soldiers with one attack, and then go and get in the hit on her with the axe. Now, then of course, then you see me. I change to the swords, because the swords are quicker. And her pattern is she will fire her little eye beam, which will turn you to stone. It'll slow you down, and then it'll turn you to stone. So just get behind one of the pillars. You don't have to be super close to her. Because you're going to have to dodge the lightning bolts after that. Her pattern is, for the majority of the fight, she will do the eye beam. Then she will. Then there's a couple seconds pause. Then she will throw 3 lightning bolts. If you get hit by the first one, you're going to get hit by all 3 of them. So it's a good idea to be running when she throws the lightning bolts. That's why I'm kind of standing back a little bit. It gives me a little bit of running room, and then I hit her. Notice that I'm not hitting her with my big attack most of the time. I hit her with a little attack until, unless my life is getting a little low, and then I will hit her with the big attack. I'm saving that power attack for when she calls down her little soldiers. The reason I use the sword instead of the axe is a little bit of a slower attack, and I may actually miss my opportunity to hit her. As you can see, she teleports around. And with the sword, I can just run up to her and just hack and slash real quick. With the axe, of course, I have to get the big wind up. Now at this point my adrenaline bars were full, but my life bar was very much not. So I went and used my my big attack on her, and of course that brought her down to 2/3 of her life and triggered her little soldiers. I tried to chain my attack there, but but he was a little bit too far away, so it didn't work. At this point, I have about half my hit points, but I have enough adrenaline to do 2 overpower attacks, so I decided to use one of them on her, which brought her down below 1/3 of her hit points, so it's soldier time. And again, what I do here is I try to get them close enough to where I can chain attack them. So hit him, and I turn, so I'm looking at that one, and I actually chained 3 of them together. But here, as you can see, she is going to continue her attacks while you're dealing with them. So you have to contend with both her and the soldiers. But once you get the soldiers defeated, she is on the ground for a second, so you might be able to get in a good hit on her. And then you go straight back into the trusty hit and run tactic. Most of this combat is going to be her throwing her I-beam and then throwing the lightning bolts, and then you attacking her. That's going to be the way it's going to go. It's a long battle, as you can tell. But once you get down to about here, she's going to throw a fit, and she's going to teleport around for a little while and throw lightning bolts, and that's all she's going to do. She will eventually stop doing this and use her I-beam again, but just try not to get hit too much while she's doing this, because it's hard to hit her, and she's going to be continually, like I said, throwing lightning bolts. Of course, you can tell when she's going to throw the I-beam, because she does this. She does the little thing with her head. After this, it's basically the same thing. Go hide behind a pole and then run and hit her. Difference is she's going to teleport it around a little bit more than normal. She's going to keep zipping around, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to hit her. But you can do it, and it is important to remember that you can interrupt her attacks by using a power attack. Then just keep doing the hit and run until you finish her off. Be a little more careful than I was right there.
Must have picked up the artifact and transformed into that creature. I wonder how many people have become the writhing dread over the centuries.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that it was informative and helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. LaffinBoy out.